10 cheap fragrances I cannot wait to wear this fall. Some of the most amazing releases of my fragrance lifetime have come out in recent years, and many of them are quite inexpensive. So I have here a list of 10 that to me fit with the fall so very well. And most of these I'm not wearing in the warmer weather that we've been in here in the Southeast US for the last, I don't know, 4 months or so. So these are the ones that as the weather starts to cool, I am just psyched about picking up and beginning to wear again. We're gonna get into this. Before we do, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And I would like to ask, can you wait to click the like button? I don't think so. Go ahead and give it a click if you like the video. Let's begin. All right, first up, this is one that came out right as it was starting to get cool. At least that's whenever it arrived on my radar. So I didn't get to wear it that much, but I love this DNA. It's an alternative to Kilian Smoking Hot. This is Lattafa's Mashiraba. This is an absolutely wonderful sweet tobacco fragrance. It's a sweet, spicy tobacco fragrance with this very red apple in the opening. I say very red because it almost comes across like cherry. There's some ways in which like a sweet red apple note and a cherry note, for some reason in my mind, come across in a similar way. This one has that. So deep, dark tobacco with some spice and some sweet red apple. This stuff is phenomenal. You have to like sweet fragrances or you won't like this one though. Again, this is Lattafa's Mashiraba. Next up, when this one came out, I was absolutely thrilled because it's a DNA that at the time, none of the big brands had cloned yet. You had to go to like a Dua or something to get an alternative to Parfums de Marly Pegasus Exclusive. But All Haramain has given us this very inexpensive alternative. This is Detour Noir Intense, I believe. Yes, Detour Noir Intense, and it's fantastic. So the Pegasus DNA is this powdery almond vanilla, with the Exclusive having this added oud with almost like a piney, pine and leathery kind of a feel. It darkens it up quite a bit. It matures it quite a bit. I love Pegasus Exclusive, and I had some other things that smelled like it, but here's one that you can get for, I would guess, around $30 last time I looked, and they did a really good job. It's quite close to the original. Again, this is Detour Noir Intense. Next up, it's hard to believe this was my first pickup, I think, from Fragrance World. This is Starman Nebula. This is a fantastic fall fragrance. It's an alternative to Mugler's Pure Malt, but what it is this very warm, aromatic flanker, obviously, to the Amen line. I love the Amen fragrances, one of my favorite lines, period. It's a bummer that it's been discontinued, except they did have a really good release from last year, but it is a line that is known for, dark notes mixed with spicy notes like coffee, patchouli, mixed with like, licorice and cinnamon and mint and all these aromatic notes. Well, this one has that mix of dark notes mixed with spicy notes, but it also has this kind of malt liquor note, which gives it a little bit of like a balsamic kind of sweetness, causes it to stand apart from some of the other flankers in the line. Really good stuff. I don't know if I've ever smelled the original, but guys that I've seen do side by side say that it's pretty close to the original. So again, this is an excellent fall fragrance for very cheap, Starman Nebula. Next up, this is a DNA that I have fallen in love with. I've got the original and a whole shelf of dupes at this point. I'm talking about Le Male Elixir from, of course, JPG. This is Armaf's Club de Nuit Lionheart Man, and it's a really good alternative to JPG Le Male Elixir. It's a warm vanilla mint honey tobacco fragrance. Some other kind of aromatic notes in there as well. But if you like sweet fragrances with tobacco and a little bit of aromatic, warm or spicy notes, then it's fantastic and very close to the original. Although I would say the tobacco in the original may be a little more defined or a little higher quality than this one, but it's still probably in that 90% territory. Again, Lionheart Man from Aroma. This next one is another that when it came out, there weren't many options if you wanted an alternative to Penhaligon's The Blazing Mr. Sam. It is their tobacco fragrance in the line that is not too far off from a couple of the ones that I've shown you, even the last one that I showed you, in that it is a warm, sweet tobacco fragrance with some spice. I think there's even some oud. There's a real connection to Penhaligon's Halfeti. It's almost like the tobacco flanker of Halfeti. This one is All for Son Desert from Emperor, and Emperor has really impressed me. They do very inexpensive fragrances, and I always pick them up thinking, man, this is so cheap, and it's, you know, a brand that I didn't even know about a year ago. So I'm always half expecting their fragrances to be not very good, or at least kind of mid, and then I spray them on and I think, this is fantastic. If this was like Lattafa Armaf, then I would say this is a good dupe. So anyway, this one, quite inexpensive, very good alternative to the Blazing Mr. Sam, and I am so excited to wear this and the dozen other fragrances I have that smell like this, either alternatives to Blazing Mr. Sam, Penhaligon's Halfeti, and its flankers. So anyway, really good stuff. Al Forsan Desert from Emperor. This next one is fire. It's not actually a clone, but it is from a clone brand, and this is a brand that I hadn't bought from in a couple years, but I recently picked up several of their new releases, originals that they made. This and the other two, honestly, that I bought are amazing. This is called It Factor from Dossier, and let me read you the notes in this fragrance. This has got some ginger and cardamom, which those are two warm, spicy notes that go great together, and they're honestly two of my favorite spicy notes. You've got violet, incense, silky musk in the mid, and then brown sugar, sandalwood, vanilla, and tonka bean in the base. It is a sweet vanilla tonka bean kind of a fragrance with just the right amount of spiciness, that warm spiciness. It's excellent. The note breakdown doesn't really do it justice, but it is just one of these almost magical, warm, vanillic fragrances with the right kind of spiciness that makes it perfect for the fall. It's one that you, without having something to say, it smells like this, it's hard to really explain, but it's one of those that whenever I sprayed it on, I said wow out loud. So anyway, this is Dossier's It Factor. You know, I don't have affiliate links or codes or anything to make money off of this. I'm just telling you, it is very, very good stuff. Next up, when this one came out, it's kind of a theme in this video. When this one came out, I was just thrilled because none of the other clone brands were doing an alternative to this unless you went with one of the expensive indie brands. I'm talking about Dior Homme Parfum. Finally, FOMO gave us this beauty right here. This is Gary's Den. This one made a real splash, and I love FOMO. It's Fragrance by .ca's brand. They're doing some awesome stuff at great prices. And this, of course, is an iris fragrance with some rose that really amplifies that iris. There's also some oud, there's some leather, there's a little bit of warm sweetness. It is a iris fragrance primarily, but it's really a rose and iris fragrance, and the way that those two floral notes operate together, it makes it powdery and floral, and really not for everyone. That's one takeaway that I can confidently say about some of these kinds of fragrances, even Dior Homme Intense. Some people really don't like them. I love them. And if you love iris, this is probably the best bang for your buck fragrance I could point you to. Again, this is Gary's Den from FOMO. This next one is excellent. Again, this is fall in a bottle. Like, this is the kind of fragrance you spray it on, at least I spray it on and think this was made for fall. I'm talking about from Lattafa. This is Jasor. And this one's an alternative to Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. Can you say that 7 times fast? Go. So this one is also a tobacco fragrance, but it's not primarily tobacco. It's tobacco with some woods, with some florals and some sweetness and some kind of fresh spicy geranium. It's this mix of woody and sweet fragrances that come together with some tobacco and a little bit of spiciness. It is warm. It smells like a beautiful fall day when the leaves are changing and you're out on a hike in the woods. I mean, it's an awesome fragrance. Oh, and of course, it's got a wonderful apple note in the opening, which I forgot to mention. As a matter of fact, it's not too far off from the apple in this fragrance. At least it reminds me a little bit. It's the same kind of apple, which is really one of the stars of the show. So I definitely shouldn't have forgotten that. But, you know, apple, woods, tobacco, warm fragrance with a little bit of aromatics. Really good stuff from Lattafa. This is Jasor. Next up, this is a dupe or an alternative to a niche fragrance that I absolutely love. I fell in love with plum fragrances over the past year plus, and one of the absolute best, of course, is Initio's Paragon. It's sort of a quintessential plum fragrance. You've got notes of plum, you've got some black pepper, some Palo Santo and sandalwood and oud woodiness, and then also you've got some sort of lavender and citrus in the opening, giving it a little bit of that freshness. So it's a great blend of some woody notes, some wonderful sweet notes with some spice and aromatics. I love it. I love the DNA. I've got several other alternatives as well. And this is one in particular that the longer I had it, the more it sat, the better it got. Whenever I first got Lattafa's Vintage Radio, there was a little bit of a plasticky synthetic thing around the edges. That has died down a lot the longer that I've had it. And I think it is one of the best alternatives to the fragrance, Lattafa Pride Vintage Radio. This next one's an alternative to one of the Jean-Paul Gaultier Scandal fragrances, specifically Absolu. This is Checkmate King from Aroma. And what I'll tell you about the Scandal fragrances as a line is that they do a wonderful job of blending together some sweet and in some cases gourmand notes with some aromatic notes, some, you know, in some cases almost minty, fresh, spicy notes together with some sweet notes. A little bit of a clash, which when that works is about my favorite kind of fragrance. So this one in particular and Absolu in the original line, they still have that mix of sweet notes and aromatic notes, and it's probably in that 70-ish% similar to the original Scandal. This one though, what they give you from the brand is you've got some fig, you've got some tuberose. Tuberose can come across kind of like rose, just depending on how that it's used. And so this one has a little bit of a different kind of sweetness and a little bit of a different kind of fruitiness. It doesn't really come across as a rose fragrance per se. It's really just a good flanker of the original Scandal in its a twist. It's a little bit of a different take on the DNA. I think it smells amazing. If you like sweet fragrances, if you like something that's a little bit aromatic, then this one they did a really good job with. Again, this is Checkmate King from Aroma. So that's been 10 cheap fragrances I can't wait to wear now that the weather's going to be getting cold soon. It's already beginning to, actually. It's, you know, it's dropping maybe a couple degrees per week. This is a great list, but let me know some of your picks down below in the comments. Remember to give the video a like if you like it and subscribe to the channel. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.